What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another stream, the final stream before Christmas. Just realised this hat doesn't look very good with this jumper. I feel like it's got to be one or the other. I've got a blue jumper, that would look better with the hat, but, you know, whatever. As some people have noticed, this is the last... Oh, sorry, not the last stream. Well, it is the last stream, but what they've noticed is doing the stream tonight. I did say on the last stream and on the video I did yesterday that it would have to be today. I can't do tomorrow. And obviously the deadline's on Friday and I won't be here anyway. So it has to be tonight. So this is the last stream before Game Week 18. The last stream before Christmas. There won't be one before Game Week 19. So as it's only 6 days till Christmas, I think probably time to crack open a beer. So I don't usually drink on stream. Obviously drink responsibly. Make sure you're over age. But cheers to you all. Merry Christmas. Happy holidays. Not the last stream for 2018 probably, but the last one before Christmas. Most of you, for anyone that watched the last stream where I opened beer on, it went everywhere. And I was meant to bring a towel in, and I've forgotten. So we'll see what happens. How are you? Big decisions to make. Yeah, very big decisions to make. Let's go on to the other screen a sec. So, oh wow, look at this, awfully set up, poor production. Let me scroll this down a bit. So, I think last week I talked about maybe selling Salah, but I pretty much said at the same time I don't think I'll do it. I feel the opposite this week. I feel like I'm going to make the moves that I mentioned on the video, which would be Salah and Son out, Hazard and Sané in. I'm trying not to double or second guess, not double guess, second guess rotation too much. I mean, Son started, he's come off around 80 minutes. Kane didn't start, he's come on. Aubameyang started, which makes you think it's a rest, but at the same time, I think that was the first 11 for Arsenal, which just goes to show that Lacazette is maybe not trusted as much at the moment. But obviously, he's played less minutes this week, so he could get rested. I think it's very hard to second guess rotation. Yes, I think Son will probably miss a game over the next 2 or 3, but then who isn't? I'm basically banking on Son and Salah not being outscored by Hazard and... Sorry, being outscored by Hazard and Sané. And I think Sané looks incredible this week, could even be a captain. The only problem is, which I'll come on to later, is Game Week 19 captaincy, which could be a problem. But there are 5 polls if you want to vote on them. Top right hand corner, as always, click that little eye. We've got questions. Basically, I think they're all from Twitter or variants of what was tweeted to me. So Harry Kane, basically buy, sell or hold. If you could only pick one from Game Week 18 onward, would you pick Aubameyang or Kane? Are you tempted by any Man United players? Obviously, big news there. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is now manager for the rest of the season. Unless he gets fired. Maybe he'll do that badly that he'll get fired too. I mean, that would really be a mess. Your Game Week 18 captain and the best captain option for Game Week 18 out of Sané and Sterling, because I can only put so many options on the Game Week 18 captaincy, and a lot of people maybe got Salah and Sterling. I might want to know who to captain. Why is there not a double game week? So basically, all 38 game weeks are produced and known before the season starts. So they knew there was going to be a game week now. They know there's going to be... so if they know there's going to be midweek games and they know there's going to be weekend games, they separate the game weeks. The double game weeks happen when a team misses out because they're playing in a cup or Europe or whatever it may be, and they can't play their game in that game week, and then they play in a different one. So it's not usually... Well, it will never be a double game week for every game. For every team. It'll only be a double game week for some teams. So when we say double game week, it's not every single team playing 2 games. It's just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, however many it might be. Obviously, it depends. Son for Martial or Ozil. I mean, Ozil can't get into their team right now, so he's an absolute no. And Martial, yeah, I would wait and see what the Man United lineup is for me. Is Kane injured? I mean, he played tonight, so I don't think so. Pochettino's going to leave Spurs on a high winning the Carabao Cup. No worries, Adam. Okay, thoughts on Lacazette and Højbjerg to Kamara and Hazard for free? I mean, no-brainer. No-brainer for me, that. Obviously, the caveat is I don't know the rest of your team, but look, Lacazette could start. It's an easy fixture, Burnley, I think. So he could start that game, especially as he didn't start tonight. And you might think, and Emery might think they can do well without him. They probably also want to bounce back from that Southampton game. But the thing is, longer term, Hazard's probably the better option. You're going to have this worry about Lacazette every week. You've probably not got as many worries about Hazard. So I think Højbjerg, Kamara, whatever, much of a much, I guess you're probably not going to play them too much. So Hazard looks decent. How many beers have I had already? I've had that much. Drunk on stream, probably not. I got to work tomorrow. Sucks. My last day before Christmas, but I've got to work tomorrow. And the reason I can't do the stream tomorrow is because I've actually got a night out, and then I go away on Friday, and I got to be up super early. So it's a bit of a busy week, really. Could I look any more Christmassy? I could have some lights on, or some tinsel, maybe. Or some antlers on top of my Christmas hat. I might be overdoing it, though. I'm just waiting for about half an hour's time, and the computer's been on a while. The heating's been on. It's just absolutely boiling in here. After I did the Scoutcast, which was a really long one, 1 hour and 42 minutes, first thing I did when we went off air was take the jumper off. Any Kolasinac news? No, not that I've seen. I thought Solskjaer was replacing Lukaku. Yeah, I mean, the Solskjaer in his prime would be nice to have at Man United right now. Actually, was Kolasinac anywhere near? I don't even know if he was in the squad tonight. Didn't think to look at that. Don't think he was though, but I could be wrong. Oh god, there's so much scrolling down to the team news. I'm sure someone in the chat can just tell me. Monreal played again. Yeah, he wasn't in the squad. I think Monreal's possibly an issue now for Kolasinac getting straight back in, but wait and see what the news is from Emery. I think Ashley Young's a bit too expensive for me. I think he's like 5.7 million still. So I think if you're going to take a risk on the Man United defence, I'd want to get someone a bit cheaper. Either Shaw when he's back, Lindelof maybe 4.8 million. Do I go away Friday to the FPL show? No, I won't be on the FPL show this season. Why don't you use your Instagram? Same reason I don't use Facebook, to be honest. I don't know. I just find for FPL stuff and like what I want to just talk about, Twitter's just easier. I don't have to put a picture on like on Instagram. I mean, Facebook just sucks in general. So Twitter's just handier, to be honest. I don't want to have to put a picture up every time I want to say something on Instagram. You're after a new keeper. If United proved reliable, would you choose De Gea? Yeah, I mean, I looked at defensive kind of fixtures over the next 8 to 10 weeks, and to be fair, Man United are really good, but it's just too expensive. I just wouldn't go near De Gea, to be honest. I'm trying to find it. I find it pretty difficult not to go to Fabianski. He looks like the obvious pick right now. I'm still looking at a -8, which I know sounds crazy. I almost think like if someone else had my team and they told me they were going to take a -8 that included Salah, Son out, and a goalkeeper change, then I would probably say to them to reconsider. I'm trying to separate both the hits. So Salah and Son to Hazard and Sané. I think Hazard and Sané looks better, although I'm a little bit conscious about moving too many players around at this time of the year because they could easily get rotated. We could see Salah do well against Wolves and Newcastle, and then will I be worried about swapping back again? There's that little thought in the back of my mind. And then Ryan to Fabianski, I know could backfire. I know he might not repay it this week, but I think there's a chance he breaks even. Pogba, Martial, Lingard. I mean, if you had to pick one this week, I think Pogba is the obvious one that's 100% going to start. I don't... There's no way that Solskjaer comes in and the first thing he does is bench Pogba again, just after he's been benched by Mourinho. I think he definitely plays. Now, after that, I'm not 100% on how he's going to line up. You'd imagine Martial will play because he's one of our better players. He's been pretty good this season as well. And Lingard could too. So I think in order is Pogba just because you know he's going to play, then Martial, then Lingard. Pogba was rested against Liverpool. No, I think he was just benched because Mourinho didn't like him. Didn't want him to play. I don't think it was a rest at all. But yeah, I would expect Martial to play, and given the form he was in earlier, could be a look. Could be worth a look in. But my preference for Man United is to wait this game week. They're going to play Cardiff away. My assumption would be, apart from, I guess, possible rotation, because of the games in quick succession, that it'll be a very similar team that play on Boxing Day, which would be the first home game for Solskjaer. And he's gonna, imagine getting a win on your first managerial game at Old Trafford after the way the fans are thinking about Man United and stuff. So I'd expect the next two games to be quite similar teams that he plays. So I'd like to wait and get, if you're going to get someone in from United, which is still debatable on whether that's a good idea. I think waiting for the first home game seems sensible to me, considering it's only 2 game weeks time. And Boxing Day, I don't know if anyone else has got really good memories of Boxing Day. I know I've not always had good FPL scores on Boxing Day, but I do remember some really good ones. So I'm always a big fan of Boxing Day, which is the 26th of December for anyone not from the UK. Where's the amaretto? So, I actually have a full bottle. And Saturday I decided to have some drinks, and I only had half a bottle left, so I decided to buy a whole new bottle. Surprise, I didn't need more than half a bottle with all the beer. So, but I didn't have any Coke, and I don't really like drinking it straight, so none tonight. And to be honest, I could probably do without drinking it. Tonight, at least. Looking a bit pale. Think you need Kane. I think Kane would send me even more pale. Someone asked just a minute ago, how am I feeling about Aubameyang? I think, basically, when I was doing the Scoutcast on Tuesday, hang on a sec. Excuse me, that's the beer. Matthew, I'll come back to that. Thank you very much. There will hopefully be another stream before 2019, by the way. So this, hopefully, the plan is not for this to be the last one before 2019. But of course, it's a very busy period, Christmas and whatnot. But I'll try and fit in time when I can. But let me come back to that in a sec. I've already forgotten what. Aubameyang. So there's 2 things on the Scoutcast. When Kane was mentioned as the better option, I was looking at the stats as we were talking, and to be honest, I hadn't had a really good look at them. And Aubameyang was just crazy. Maybe not. Super advanced in stats compared to Kane. Like not much better, but definitely better. Expected goals was like doubled. 10 big chances compared to 3. This is all in the last 6 weeks. More chances created. Obviously, Kane has scored more points, but if you're a fan of underlying stats, Aubameyang's is there. So straight away, that made me actually think that maybe he could even be a captaincy option this week. So what tonight has done, the fact that he started, has made me think, one, he's definitely the main striker there. So you'd think he would get minutes more often than not. But obviously he's going to get rested just like everyone over this period. 2, it locks in I'm not going to captain him, because obviously I'm a little bit worried now. Whereas I'm pretty sure Sterling and Sané are going to play. I'm pretty confident in that. If Sterling gets benched again, I'll consider that super unlucky, considering he only played like 30 minutes in the last 2 games. So for me, all tonight has done for Aubameyang is I want to keep him. I don't think I'm going to ship him just yet, although longer term I may not keep a premium striker. But I can't captain him. I did think about it, just because I was impressed with his stats. I think Burnley's still a good fixture. But yeah, I can't captain now. It's going to have to be Sterling or Sané when I bring him in. Matthew, thanks very much for that donation. Much appreciated, my man. Thanks for the live streams. Thanks to all you guys for tuning in. I wouldn't do them if people weren't tuning in at this point. I think, like I always say, sometimes you get home from work, you just really don't want to stream, but then when you get going, people are there asking questions. It's really good. I really enjoy it. So definitely keeping on. Any plans for 2019? I'm not sure what you mean. In terms of the YouTube channel, I wouldn't expect much change this season. Someone's reached out to me about overhauling some of the stuff on the streams and that, and I've got some ideas, and I don't want to go into too much detail because I've not done them and I don't really like saying what I'm going to do. I'd rather just do it and then you see it. But yes, I have plans for 2019, but probably not to the start of next season. Unless you mean other kind of plans. In which case, let me know in the chat and I will do my best to answer. Looking dope. I'm not sure about dope. Even the headphones match. Though I need new headphones because this headphone on the right hasn't worked for months at this point. Hi Santa, where's Andy? I actually shaved before this, so maybe I should have kept it. Okay, is Mahrez worth switching to Sané this week for a -4? Usually I'd say no, but I do think Sterling and Sané start. So I'd be tempted by that. Because longer term, you're probably going to want Sané instead of Mahrez anyway. If you're confident that Sané will start and not Mahrez, then yes. Can we see your opponent in the cup? You can. It's actually... I'll show you in a sec. Will there be another stream before New Year's? Look, there probably will be. I'm pretty sure there will be, right? So, my plan is not to do anything before Boxing Day. I've recorded a video. It will be out on Christmas Day. It's got a little bit of talk about Game Week 19, but obviously I can't go into specifics. And I explain all this at the start of the video because I don't want people watching it expecting specifics. The best thing to do if you're wanting that is just to not watch it. It's just a one-off for that week. So I'm not going to do anything else before Game Week 19. I've decided not to do that. I'm not going to try and do a stream on my phone or anything like that. I'm just going to enjoy my time away, drink too much beer, eat too much turkey, and then come back kind of, I would say refreshed, but I'll just be hungover probably. And then, because of the date I get back, it's going to be very tricky. But I think there'll be a stream either on the 28th late or a deadline stream as my only video before Game Week 20. So I might do a deadline stream on Saturday. And then I will probably do one on the 30th. I'll probably do one on the 30th as well before the deadline on Game Week 21 for the 1st of January. So the short answer to that is... no, this is not the last stream. Yes, I do plan to do more streams before the end of 2019. Do not panic. My next cup opponent is this dude. So he's ranked 3 million, which obviously isn't great, but he's definitely got. He's definitely active, I think. Let me just check. Yeah, he's still. Oh, he hasn't made a transfer actually since Game Week 16. So yeah, fair enough. Maybe he's not active anymore. But his team looks a bit like it's active. If you think like Sané and Hazard are being talked about, people have got Richarlison, Rashford's in form, Aubameyang everyone's got, and Snodgrass. Even Snodgrass, it's Game Week 16. I mean, it's only a few game weeks ago actually. What we're going into 18. So yeah, he is active. This is John Coro. So that's my cup opponent. I think I'm going to have Hazard and Sané, but he's going to obviously get an 8-point start. So I actually think it's going to be very difficult for me to beat him because we've got quite a few of the same players and I'm going to take an 8-point hit to get to his team. The only difference is I will probably captain Sterling instead of Sané. So maybe he can do the business for me. But yeah, a little bit worrying. Imagine if I go at the cup, I'll be devastated. Absolutely devastated. Yeah, Game Week 16, sorry. I kind of had it in my head because I was just reading off when I was going to do streams that we were already on like Game Week 20, 21, 22 and obviously we're not. Camille, thanks very much for that. £2. Alonso or Robertson and Son to... Alonso or Robertson and Son. Oh, jeez. Actually, Alonso or Robertson out. I'm not sure I would do either right now. Arguably, you should do Alonso. But I just think given the fixtures, I'd probably want to keep him. And Robertson, you're going to want longer term anyway. So I'm not sure about that being the best way to fund it. If you absolutely want to do it, I would probably be tempted to get rid of Robertson just for the next 4 and then look at getting him back. But I'm not sure about that transfer in general, to be honest. Although I do appreciate that Sané looks great. Do I have any plans of bringing in Dean? And are you going with that Liverpool defence? Definitely going with that Liverpool defence. I kind of said on the last stream when I sold Trent that yes, Lovren or Robertson were obviously the obvious choices, but I just felt like if you were going to go without Liverpool defence, it's this little period now. So I'm definitely going without them. Do I have any plans to bring in Dean? Look, if I have a spare transfer, I probably will when their fixtures get better because he just looks really good for his price, and he's better than Kane, who I own. But obviously, you know, if I want to play an Everton defender and I've got Kane, am I going to spend that transfer early on to make a sideways switch? Maybe not. But yes, basically, the short answer is yes, I would like Dean instead of Kane. Max with the $4.99, thanks very much. If Wilson goes to Chelsea, how do you think it impacts his and Hazard's value? Good question. I mean, if he becomes the first choice, I'm not sure this transfer is going to go through, to be honest, in January. So I think this is definitely a hypothetical one. But if he goes to Chelsea, obviously his value increases loads because he's priced to play at Bournemouth, but he'll be playing in a much better Chelsea side. And I think Hazard stays around the same, to be honest. I don't think Wilson necessarily makes Hazard a better option, but I don't think he makes him a worse one. I know a lot of people are saying that Hazard in this number 9 role looks better and the points are there, but I mean, he scored points outside of this number 9 role, like false 9, whatever you want to call it. And it's such a small sample size that I think if he has to move back to the left, that doesn't make him a worse option. I don't think it makes him a better one necessarily either. And Wilson for sure, it'll you know, if Wilson's fit and playing regularly for Chelsea, then it's a no-brainer to get him in. Harry, thanks very much for the $1.99. Gabriel Jesus and Liverpool defensive options. Not really a question. Like, I guess you're just stating some players, but Jesus for me falls into the category a bit like Lacazette. You just never know when he's going to play. Now Aguero's back, so for me, I'm just not interested. I think Sané and Sterling are where it's at for Man City. Liverpool defensive options. Robertson's the best, of course. Van Dijk, if you've got a little bit less money, and then Lovren looks pretty decent right now. Should be nailed on. I think he would be the way I would go because I'm trying to take money out of defence, but you cannot argue with Robertson, to be honest. Am I 100% on Aubameyang captain? No, I'm like 100% not going Aubameyang captain. I'm going Sterling. That's why captain's there. Being small and a striker doesn't mean false 9. Yeah, I number 9, whatever you want to call him. He's playing up front. De Bruyne views. Again, for me right now, I think I find De Bruyne actually quite frustrating from an FPL point of view because you always seem to bring him in and then he doesn't do anything. Adam, I'll come to that in just a sec. He always seems to do nothing for me, but obviously he's an assist machine and he can get goals as well, and he tends to tick over pretty nicely. Again, though, the issue is he's a very similar price to Sané, and while Mendy is not in the team, it seems tough to go De Bruyne. Obviously, that's a bit of a differential, which could be nice. The other thing is he's just back from injury. How many minutes is he going to get over Christmas? We don't know. I think it's just a little bit risky to get him right. Not risky, but I just think that Sané is the better option. And as on the Scoutcast made a good point about, you know, you could keep Sané, and once Mendy's back and we think Sané might go out of the team a bit more, then maybe there's a straight swap there to De Bruyne. So I do like De Bruyne, but it's a no for me right now. Adam, thanks very much. Appreciate that. Merry Christmas. Have a couple of beers on me. I will. I'll have a couple right now. No question. Thanks very much. Thanks for all your support and for watching. I know you're always around. Still got your lovely picture just over here. Need to move it really at some point. Average has of the two quid. Thanks very much. Are you considering Man United options now? Yes, of course. I'll take any opportunity to consider Man United options. But I am realistic enough to know that probably don't need to jump on them straight away. If Rashford keeps playing, then I think with the way we're looking at kind of cheaper strikers and setting our team up with these cheaper strikers, then he could be a good option. Otherwise, Martial, of course, Lingard, maybe Lukaku, and a defender. But right now, I'm not looking at jumping on. I want to see how they set up, how they kind of perform under Solskjaer. Luke Shaw is probably the one I'd really like because he's cheap enough price. I don't think... Obviously, Man United have been awful this season. But De Gea, decent keeper still. If we can get a settled back four... I don't see why they can't keep more clean sheets than they have been. They kept lows last year. Obviously, yes, the team was performing a lot better than it has been this year. Obviously, Matic is another year older, and he's not been looking good this year. But I think you've got to consider, I think it's wrong just to completely write them off because of how they've been. if you've played FPL for a while, you know how quickly things change. Wilson was obviously it's an injury, but Wilson was essential a few weeks ago. Now we're not really talking about him. People have gone to Aubameyang instead of Kane. Now there's worries over whether he's going to play. Salah at points is must have. Now people are looking at getting rid, maybe getting back in later. I just wouldn't write Man United off completely, but I fully appreciate that you're not going to jump on them this week. To be fair. Jazzy, you're back to 1k rank after using your disaster card 2 weeks ago before Scala scored a hat-trick. That's decent though. 1k at this time of season is really good. Heard on Fantasy Football Scout that you were thinking of taking Salah out, but the next 2 fixtures for Liverpool look decent. They do. But it's basically a way to do the move I feel like I should have done last week. Although now it means getting rid of Son. I just think that Hazard and Sané will outscore Son and Salah. It's actually more about getting Sané than anyone. I just think he's going to do so well against Palace. I think there's another 3 or 4 goals in that for City. So I'm looking at doing that. It's not a case that I don't think Salah will do anything over the next 2, but will he outscore massively Hazard over the next 2? And then when you look at the next 4 with the 2 top 6 games, you'd expect Salah's points to decrease a little there. Now, after the next 4, definitely want to look at potentially getting him back. And to do that, I would probably look at dropping Aubameyang. All depends how the midfield's going at that point. But yes, considering it. Not confirmed, not guaranteed, but definitely considering. I know people kind of get bored of hearing that because they feel like I'm thinking of taking Salah out every week. But I did take him out earlier in the season, so we've already done it once. Who is the top 3 must own? I think right now, if you're doing a wild card or something, then I think I still like Sterling, although I know people are getting a bit worried about him because of how many rests he's had. And obviously Mahrez is always there, but Sterling, Sané and Hazard, I think. Do we absolutely need Hazard? Would mean require sacrificing Aubameyang and Kane. I mean, that's a really tough decision because, and this is the thing with FPL, you've got to manage, your team, and you only have a certain amount of transfers, and we can't chop and change players every week. So, do I think that Hazard is a better option than Aubameyang and Kane right now? Yes, probably. But it's a super tough decision of which of those 2 to take out. And we have a poll for it. I think it looks, as long as this cold isn't too bad, that Kane's probably got the better chance of starting the next game week. But Everton away, I don't know how easy that is of a fixture. From what people have been saying, they have been conceding quite a few shots recently. But, it's Everton away versus Burnley at home. Stats-wise, Aubameyang's been smashing it. Kane not so good. He seems to be dropping deep, being a bit more creative. So for me, it would probably be Kane to Hazard. Kane to fund Hazard, but I just don't know if that's needed this week necessarily, especially when Kane has Bournemouth the week after, which could be a huge score. But I just think if you genuinely look at Kane this season, like we've said it plenty of times, like what's he really done? I think Kane's in because of previous. I mean, he's still scored 9 goals this season, to be fair, but he's in for previous pedigree and fixtures really, and the thought of what he could do. I don't know if people are seriously expecting like back-to-back hat-tricks or not. Not having Sané as madness. Yeah, to me, he seems like the player to own right now of everyone. So yeah, I would definitely be looking at that. Recommendation is don't use your mum's card to donate. Any of you. Don't use parents' cards. Are you able to read questions and talk at the same time? Yeah. I mean, I can't. It's hard to talk. It's hard to answer a question and read a different question. But I mean, why would you do that? I suppose. I'm earring to Kane. Yeah, that's the kind of thing that I kind of liked about. And I kind of said it. I said it similarly about the captaincy. Is that once you've got Kane, it's very hard to drop him. Yeah, I was in the same situation last year, and once you've got him, it's very hard to not captain him, even though it's potential for Man City players to outscore him. I do think that the fixtures fall kind of nicely because you can captain a Man City player this week, and then you can captain Kane next week because they've got Leicester away, Man City. So yeah, I don't know. I know it's a tough one to take Kane out. In the back of my mind, I I just think Kane is just not the man he once was, and there's so many better or as good options for less price that he's not the way to go. But also fully understand that, again, you've got limited transfers, and so it's not necessarily always the right time to take him out. Yeah, who to drop? Let's just say I'm so glad I'm not in that situation. Like, it's very easy for me to sit here and say Kane and that I'm happy with Aubameyang, but Aubameyang's got his own issues, might not play. Does look to be number one striker, to be fair, and has played the majority of minutes, even when Lacazette was kind of fully back from injury. It does look like if they're going to go one man up front right now, it will be Aubameyang. But there's nothing to say he doesn't get rested this week, or doesn't start, or starts on the bench, comes on at half time or something. Do you know how serious the Hazard injury is? I mean, he played tonight, so I'm assuming not that serious. When does the cup end? No idea. Max, thanks very much. Transfer Aubameyang and Fraser for Hazard and Wilson. No, I don't like that. I think Bournemouth. I don't necessarily. If that's for free, then I think a switch from Aubameyang to Hazard could work out. I don't know about switching Bournemouth players. Like, Bournemouth fixtures are awful. Yes, this week's is good, but longer term they're really bad. I would think about someone else instead of Bournemouth players, personally. Obviously, if you're happy with Wilson, then go for it. You were looking for reasons why Aubameyang is better because you own him. Maybe, yeah. I mean, the thing is, it's not like I'm sat here saying Kane is a bad option. I've considered buying him, but I just think right now I can go without. To be honest, I at some point soon I might get rid of Aubameyang and not get Kane at all, and just go cheap up top. So it's not like I'm super kind of stuck with Aubameyang. I feel like I've got to keep him and make every argument to keep him. But if you check the stats, go on. If you're a member on Fantasy Football Scout, go to the stats members area and check them out against each other. I think you'd be quite pleasantly surprised. Obviously, it's not all about stats and whatnot, but they're quite impressive when you compare the two. When Aguero is back and firing, we'll want him back. Maybe, but I definitely think we'll want this fixture congestion to be over with. Are Kane's underlying stats while playing with Eriksen as good as Aubameyang's? That's a good question. Honest answer is I don't know. But I did see a tweet earlier, I think it was Adam Hopcroft. Might have been someone else, I think it was Adam though, saying basically that Kane's goals come when Eriksen plays. So yes, I would assume the stats are better. If not, it's just a bit of a massive coincidence. So that's the other thing with Spurs. It's not necessarily just Kane, it's also who he plays with. And Eriksen and Ali both played today, and so did Son. Obviously, Kane came on. I think Lamela was on the bench. So, I mean, Lamela could come in for one of them. So you don't know if that could be Eriksen, could be Son. What brand of beer? It's Peroni. Not sponsored. Not sponsored. Peroni, if you want to sponsor me, I'll happily drink beer on stream. Rashford or Martial against Cardiff. Oof. I mean, they're different positions, so I'd be interested to know who you're taking out. I mean, Rashford has looked pretty good. I just personally think there's more of a chance of Martial keeping his place in the side longer term. It's not that I think Rashford will completely be phased out and just not play. Even if he doesn't play, he'll probably come on. I just think if they play a 4-3-3, Martial is going to be the best option on that left. And Rashford could play right, but they could play Lingard there. Whoever it might be. I just think Martial should play. But to be honest, Paul, it's really tough to call right now. Solskjaer could come in and completely mix it up. He could stick to a very similar team as before, but just have a bit more of a morale boost because Mourinho's gone. It's just really hard to call right now. But thanks very much for the £5, by the way. Happy holidays from Croatia. Happy holidays to whatever you're celebrating in Croatia. If you're celebrating something today, that is. Why do I have so many notifications? Only an idiot would think about selling Son, even. Joseph S, thanks very much. Canadian dollars. Have a Christmas beer on me for doing such a great stream. Bellerin to Louise, Rudiger, Ashley Young or Davis. Oof. Oh yeah, because obviously Bellerin's out right now. Let me just check a couple of fixtures a sec. Because is Rose out at the moment? No, he's not out. I mean, Davis has started the majority of games, so you consider he probably would. Not Ashley Young for me. Again, I just think it's too expensive for a Man United defence. I really like Chelsea, to be honest. I think I'd maybe go Rudiger. There's not too much in it between him and David Luiz. Davis, I think the problem for me, unless there's any Spurs fans in that want to say different, I think Davis is probably more likely to miss the odd game because of Rose. He'll probably play the majority, but you'd imagine he'll miss out. Whereas I don't know realistically how often Luiz and Rudiger will get rotated, even in this fixture congestion. So Luiz and Rudiger, it's pretty much a much of a much. I got a bit of a feeling for Rudiger though, so he'd probably be my pick out of those. Ashley Young is a nice little punt, I think, but there's nothing to say that Solskjaer won't come in and once Shaw's back fully fit, play him left back and Dalot right back and just not play Young. I don't think that will happen, mostly because Ashley Young's one of the more senior players there, and potentially he's not going to want to completely overhaul that side and not have anyone like Young in there. But yeah, just a little bit risky there for me for Young. We just don't know if he's going to turn it around that quick. Davis, a little bit too much rotation, so I'd probably side with one of the Chelsea boys and probably Rudiger. But that's just personal preference. If you like Luiz, maybe go for him instead. What's up, FPL family? Go and follow them on YouTube if you don't already. Probably be streaming tomorrow, I assume, at 8 o'clock. They usually do. Yeah. There you go. No, don't donate any money. I'm just going to say it once more. Don't donate any money with parents' cards. Alright, you'll be in big trouble. Is Solskjaer defensive-minded or attacking? I'll be honest, I've not really looked into it too much yet. Obviously, the news only happened today. There's actually a video by Statman Dave on YouTube. I know he's looked into it. I think it's up. Probably worth a look at that. I've not had a chance to watch it yet. The thing is, defensive-minded, there's no way he's going to be as defensive-minded as Mourinho. I feel like he has to attack more. At this point, that's the only other thing that the fans want. They've got Solskjaer and they've got a club legend. Now just attack. Like, you've got the players to do it. You know, is our squad as good as Liverpool's, as good as Man City's? Probably not. The players, player for player, they're probably not as good. But that team is much better than it's been performing. So I think he's attacking from the little snippets I've seen. He's definitely more likely to attack than defend. But I've not completely looked into it. Mold scores the most goals in Norway every year, and he plays 4-3-3. Yeah, I think 4-3-3 is almost certain to happen. I think it makes the most sense, to be honest. Jeez, have I missed a donation there? I think I've missed a few. Hang on. This is Joseph. Play 94386. Thanks very much for the $2. John Narty, £5. Is a midfield of Salah, Sterling, Hazard a good idea with no premium forwards? I think at the moment, yes, is the short answer. Obviously, again, Salah has 2 tougher fixtures coming up, but the next 2 are okay. So I think it's perfectly fine to be about premium forwards. It can be quite stressful not owning the likes of Kane and Aubameyang if you've got to watch their matches or something. But if you can put that aside, then yeah, I don't see a problem with having Sterling, Hazard, and Salah right now. I mean, obviously Salah's a very similar price to Kane. It's just almost like one or the other. And the cheaper strikers are doing pretty well. Ings looks okay now. If he can stay injury free, although he's got 2 tougher fixtures coming up. Rashford a potential option, Jimenez. There's a good few options there. Arnautovic might be back soon as well. And then thanks very much for the $5 VTMPI Soccer, much appreciated. What rank would you be happy with at the end of the Christmas period? Very, very good question, Mr. FPL Fuzzy. I don't know. I've honestly, let me show you. I've gone nowhere. Like it's just rubbish. So, Gameweek 5 was when I bought in the Wolves players and stuff on Wildcard and went up a bit. Game week 6 it continued. And then Game week 7 was a huge week, and I got up to 19k. And I've literally done nothing but moved down since then. I've moved down 5k places in 10 game weeks. I'm down to 24k. So, you know, I can sit here and say that I'm happy with 24k at this stage of the season, and I'd hope that I can knock on into the top 10k by the end of the season. I mean, it's still half of the season left after all. But I mean, it's a bit disappointing to basically just lose 5,000 places after 10 game weeks. So, I would like a solid position in the top 10k, please, by the end of the Christmas period. I don't think it's going to happen because I don't think I'm going to have enough differentials to do it. But if I could climb up a bit, like top 15k, but be solidly in there, not falling again the next week, then I'd be happy with that. I definitely need a few better scores than 44 minus 4. Cheers, Yellow. Happy holidays to you too. Hey Luke, what's going on? Thanks. The hat is... They're basically the same hat I wore last year. It's like... It kind of... My head's massive, so I can't even have this up like it's supposed to be. I have to have it down a bit. Someone keeps asking me a question, which I've seen loads of times. I've not had a chance to answer it, and I can't find it now. I think it's about Delph. I mean, I answered this in the last stream. I just think... I don't know if Man City are a must-have defensive option right now, and Delph just doesn't inspire me. I don't know. I just think it's such an uninteresting option. If they go on to keep a bunch of clean sheets now and he plays every game, then obviously his points per million and stuff will be good because he's a pretty good price. I don't know. I don't know. I can't get excited about it at all. You got Martial, should you keep him? Yeah, you probably should at this point, I think. Give him one more game, see what happens. Salah out now or after Newcastle? I mean, the sensible option is to keep until after Newcastle. My head is massive, by the way. And I don't mean like in a big-headed way. I mean like in a physical way. It's huge. Nice to be back in the live stream and not be at the gym. Nice. Yeah, I kind of did my last exercise fitness session or whatever you want to call it tonight. Didn't go to the gym, but I did something at home instead. Kettlebell. And then tomorrow, my last day at work, and it's Christmas dinner in the canteen. Lovely, can't wait. I feel like all this exercise is it's basically geared me up to just eating more at Christmas. So we'll see after Christmas. I'll probably really regret it. Okay, I'm done here. Done with that beer. Hang on a sec, let me crack open another one. I need a mini fridge up here. Although I feel like that could be dangerous. Dave, thanks very much for the donation. You need to drop Trent for a 5.9 million defender. You already have Louise and Doherty. It kind of depends if you need them to play this week, I think. Like Dean for like 5 million looks good. Just not really going to want to play him this week, but after that, could be a decent option. So maybe look at him. It's actually funny. I've not really looked at defenders too much recently. Let me just have a quick look, see if anyone else. Obviously, you could double up on Chelsea. Could be a little bit of a differential. Otherwise, I think Dean or potentially someone who's only owned by 3.9%, and he's dead on 5.9 is Toby Alderweireld. Now, if you could pick between Alderweireld and Davis, and you knew Davis was going to start, you'd go for him. But I don't see Alderweireld getting rested too much. There could be a nice little differential with Spurs fixtures. So I'd probably say him or Dean. But Dean's not great for this week if you need them to play. There better be pigs in blankets tomorrow. Although that's a very UK thing, and I'm in Ireland, so probably won't happen. But Christmas dinner, absolutely. Beer belly incoming. Trust me, that's been worked on for years. I'm actually trying to get rid of it now. So that's still there. Thanks for the reminder. Last question before I go do homework. What do you think about Lacazette captain? No. I mean, Lacazette versus Sané, honestly, I just think that's absolutely no-brainer. You have to go Sané. I can't... There's no good reason to go for Lacazette over Sané. Yes, Lacazette could start because he got a bit of a rest, but I mean, Sané was fully rested too. It's got to be Sané, right? I would rather one giant pig in a blanket than take. I don't know. Like sometimes with stuff like that, if you have too much, maybe it won't be as good. Sometimes, it's always one of those things we have, and I'm always like, well, we'll have them more often now, but you don't, and then that's what makes them so good at Christmas, because you don't have them every week. But yeah, Dave, thanks for that donation. Let me know if you've got any follow-ups, although it's very hard to see questions in this chat at the moment. By the way, just saying, I mean, I know these this is what happens with streams sometimes, but it's Christmas stream, the beer's flowing, we're going to talk about crap. So sprouts, yes or no? I mean, must answer question. Absolutely hell no. Take some broccoli, but sprouts, nah. Luke, Merry Christmas to you too. Been enjoying your streams for a while. Getting Salah in a while back when had some doubts in was a brilliant call. Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I don't think you can even. You can't even take. I mean, getting Salah back when the fixtures he had was not a completely out there call. I mean, to me, it felt like common sense. But a lot of people have done much better without him, so he's not an absolute must own. Have I tried sprout flavoured crisps? I have not. Yeah, Sterling for Sané for captain is ridiculously close. Now, arguably, maybe you should go Sané because you're almost 100% certain that he will start. Sterling, if you're anything like me, you're 99.9% sure he's going to start because he's been rested in the last two or had limited minutes. But there's still that 0.1% or 0.01%, 0.001. I don't know. You know what I mean? The rest of the percentage left. That just niggles in the back of your mind that what if he doesn't start again and comes on? So from a purely safety of starts, I'd probably say Sané. But I don't know, there's just something about Sterling where I feel like maybe he's a bit more explosive. But to be fair, if you look at his explosive weeks, Sané did just as well. So Sterling got back when they beat Southampton 6-1 and West Ham 4-0. Sterling got 21 points and then 16. So 21 and 16, 37 points. Sané got 14 and 19. So he got 33 points. Is that right? 33 versus 37. So they're very similar. There's a thought that, Sterling's maybe the better goal scorer or more likely to score goals, but I just think with the amount that Sané's got, you just can't say he doesn't either. So for me, it's almost a flip of the coin. And if you absolutely want to be sure of a start, then Sané probably nicks it a little bit. But I'm probably going to go Sterling because I kind of made this claim that he was going to be a better captain than Hazard over this Christmas period. And I feel like I've got to stick to it. He's my man. FPL Fan with the $4.99. Thanks very much. If you haven't already, like I said, go and follow them on Twitter, YouTube. They do streams as well. I'm not sure how active they'll be over Christmas because at the end of the day, it's Christmas. We just want to drink beer. But I expect they'll be on tomorrow at 8 p.m. They'll say in the chat if they're not. I will have a couple of beers for sure. I'm actually... it's quite funny. We're going on a pub crawl on Saturday. Now, I mentioned to mates that the Cardiff game was on. Man United at 5:30 because we usually start about 4:35. They were like, "Oh no, not bothered about watching it." But now Solskjaer's there. They were like, "Well, I'd be interested to see how he lines up." So when I'm watching the Man United Cardiff game, I'll obviously be thinking about the previous before the game starts about the FPL as well, and then pub crawl straight after. So I'm looking forward to that, and I will definitely be having a few beers. So thanks very much for all the donations. Much appreciated. What are you thinking with Hazard? When owning, I don't want him. When not owning, I want him. Yeah, I hear ya. I think I'm going to get him back in. Maybe it was a little bit knee-jerk on him, but at the time he was coming back from injuries and stuff. But I just think he's been so consistent for most of the season. Good fixtures. I think he'll get the majority of minutes as well. I think there's a very good chance that he matches Salah over the next two and possibly beats him over the next four. Taking a little bit of a risk there maybe, but Yeah, I'm getting him back in. It could backfire. I mean, this would definitely be... this would be the first time in I do not know how long that I do not own one of Salah or Kane if I sell him. That's a little bit weird, a little bit strange. Got to get rid of Ryan, I probably am. Sané is, see you later, Yola. Good luck with the homework. Thanks very much. Disorano not making an appearance, not tonight. I don't have any Coke. Didn't have. By the time I remembered I didn't have Coke, I didn't have time to go and get any. And to be honest, I could probably do with not drinking Disorano tonight. Because the problem is with me, I've said this before. I don't drink that often, but when I do, I like to drink. Do you know what I mean? It's never one or two. So I'm trying to make sure it's just one or two tonight. Really am close to Alonso out. Basically paying 7 million for clean sheet potential. Fully agree right now. Again, if you're... it's your nose. I think it's this white... The white stuff on the hat is irritating my nose. Honestly, if you go and look at the attacking potential for Alonso over the last kind of 4 to 6 weeks, it is nowhere to be seen. I think I said on the Scoutcast, there's 28 defenders with more touches in the box than Alonso over the last 6 fixtures. Now, the fixtures are there. Maybe he'll get a little bit of attacking license over these fixtures, but it's very difficult to sit here and argue for him. I think he's a bit like Kane. We've seen what he can do in the past, so we're a bit worried about not owning him. There was a few kind of screenshots I saw, and obviously he hit the woodwork at the weekend. And there was a few images where I saw him in the box, which is nice. And I kind of said on the Scoutcast, I'm not looking at getting rid of him because I just don't need to right now. I don't need to get that money for an upgrade elsewhere. I mean, I could do Alonso and Son to Sané and whoever for someone $1 million less than Alonso and keep Salah. And maybe I will do that, but I think if you're buying someone or you're wildcarding, you're probably going to go for a cheaper Chelsea defender right now. But if you've got him, unless you need the money to fund another move, I don't see a massive reason to get rid of him. You are paying a premium, but you've already got him in. I don't think he's worth a transfer unless you're really using that money elsewhere, basically. David, thanks very much for the £2. Great podcast jumper and hat combo. Thank you very much. This has to be worn to work tomorrow. It's Christmas jumper day. See, I kind of like it. New this year. Decent. I don't think there's much else on there you can't already see. But yeah, nice jumper, you know. And then it's back out in action on Saturday for the pub crawl. This will be my Man United shirt. Anyone having issues with Super Chat? I mean, I'm gonna no, I guess, because maybe some people are, but obviously quite a few have come through tonight, so it seems to be working in general. Yeah, do you know what, Fozzie? The Sané transfer I just mentioned does sound good, doesn't it? I didn't even think about that before. I could keep Salah, not get Hazard, although I don't know if I like that, and just get rid of Alonso to do Son to Sané. And I get to keep Salah for these 2 fixtures. He'd then be my captain in Gameweek 19. Because I am a bit unsure about who I captain in Gameweek 19. And then once Salah has those two tougher fixtures, maybe I could get Hazard in. I didn't even think about that till right now. But when I said it out loud, I thought, hang on, actually, that sounds alright. In fact, let me look right now exactly what I can do, because Son is a bit cheaper than Sané. So I don't think I can get... Let's also just consider that I probably want Fabianski as well. So it'd be 5.7. So it'd be similar to what a few people have asked tonight. David Luiz is 5.7. Oof. The thing with that is, though, that's one of those moves that over the long run would probably be fine. But in the back of my head, it feels like you've heard that David Luiz has outscored Alonso since Game Week 3. So you're getting him just because of that. But will that continue to happen? I don't know. Feels like a bit knee-jerk, but... Oh, that is interesting. That is interesting. Maybe I could get a Man United defender in. Just saying. Salah bench for Game Week 19. Yeah, look, it could definitely happen because of... They've got 10 days rest in total, so they actually have the most rest days over the Christmas period. but they've only got 2 between that game and the next one. So definitely potential. But I just think top of the league, the 4 days rest either side, 4 full days rest, that maybe he will start that game. Any gift recommendations to give for a girlfriend? She's the type of girl that likes most things. Just buy her anything then. She'll be happy. I could sell you a Let's Talk FPL mug. I've got another shipment in today for a nice price, 50 quid. I bet she'd love that. If you went ultra cheap with Alonso, could you afford Son to Hazard? Off the top of my head, without double checking, yes, but it'd be about 4.3 million. I don't think I'd do that though. As much as I like Hazard, I actually think Sané is probably more needed, to be honest. Or I'd prefer to own Sané than Hazard if I had to pick one. Just because of how good Man City are. Isn't a free hit more valuable during a double game week than a triple captain? Possibly. Because obviously you get to change the whole team. But the free hit can be possibly useful in blank game weeks. And there is usually more than one double game week, so you can use free hit in one, triple captain in the other potentially. Your honest opinions on who will win the Premier League this year? As a Liverpool fan, I'm buzzing. So my prediction start of the season was Man City. Obviously, that's not a crazy out there prediction. Most people would have predicted that. I don't think I would change my mind at this point. I think City have done it before. Liverpool haven't obviously won the league for a long time, and I think, I don't know if it probably gets easier for players. The pressure. I mean, I know they'd say that the pressure is probably the same and the nerves get you and stuff, but the first time you do it, it'd be much more on the Liverpool players' minds, you'd think, than the Man City players that have done it before. So they're obviously real contenders this year. The reason I put them second at the start of the season, because I felt that if Liverpool get a few injuries, they've got a good squad, but I wasn't completely convinced that their backup players are as good as Man City's, but actually midfield-wise they're looking pretty good. I think, not likely to happen, of course, but once 2 of Mane, Salah, and Firmino get injured, then that really is going to be tough for Liverpool. Whereas if Sané and Sterling got injured, yes, they would not be the same team, but I think they've got options there that could step in a bit more than Liverpool. But I think it's close. I mean, Liverpool's squad looks great now. Defensively, they look really good. Attacking-wise, they're still decent. I think Man City will probably have too much by the end of the season. But it's going to be close. And I think that's good for the league that it might be a bit closer than it was last year. But it truly is ridiculous how good they've both been. If you consider that Spurs are having one of their best seasons and they're, third or fourth? So, yeah, there is definitely a chance. I still probably back City. I don't think there's much in it now. I think your defence is weak. It is pretty weak, yeah. I'll take that. And Game Week 18 is probably the weakest it will be for a little while. But I've taken money out of defence so I can have a better attack, and I'm going to stick with it. Does Jet from Gladiators pass the itis? I actually watched Gladiators a few weeks ago. What a great theme tune, seriously. Gladiators, ready. What do you think about Aguero as a differential? I just think, is he going to start? And that would put me off. I'm a Galway man. As a Man United fan, which 2 would you rather win the league? City or Liverpool? I mean, that's really it's a horrible question. Who really cares, I suppose? It's both horrible. I mean, the thing is, if Man City win again, it's yeah, okay, everyone expected that. If Liverpool win it, you're going to have to hear that a lot. But at the same time, do you know what? I know this is blasphemy, but I kind of... The year that Gerrard slipped, if Gerrard had a Premier League winners medal, I think that'd be kind of nice. England, bit of an England legend. Obviously, one-man club, stuff like that. Wouldn't have begrudged him too much if he got a winners medal that year. But yeah, I don't really care if City or Liverpool win it, to be honest. If it's not Man United, who really cares? As a United fan, I hope Spurs win it. I know, but if Spurs win it, new stadium, why on earth would Pochettino ever leave? Surely you want Pochettino not to win it, and then maybe come on over to Man United anyway. So now we're talking about gladiators. I can't even remember what they all look like. I remember the names, but that's about it. Liverpool win the title, and then next season it's like Man United fans are just like, yeah, we've got a new manager. This is our year now. How long have we been streaming? Oh Jesus, we're past normal. We're past normal poll time. Past normal poll time completely. So let's do the polls in 2 to 3 minutes. You can click on the top right hand corner to do that. Drink a crap beer. So I have got one more beer. They've all kind of warmed up a bit now. So it's an IPA. It's a bit different. See IPA there. Full sale. So it's Galway Bay Brewery. Very nice. Again, not sponsored. If the guys there want to sponsor me, let me know. But it's a really nice IPA. Quite strong. I think it's like 5.8. This is where everyone's going to tell me that's not strong. But the one I really like they do is only about 3.8 or 4%. It's Althea or Althea. That is lovely. Like session ale. You can just drink loads of it. Excuse me. I hope you didn't hear that. Future FPL champ with the 229. Interesting donation that. When will you transfer out Son? So again, I almost think sensible option is just to keep him till he goes to the Asia Cup, but I might transfer him out this week. Is the short answer to that, because I want Sané. Polls not showing up. They should be showing up. Let me just refresh to see if people have been voting, but I think they have. Just double check now. Could Pedro be a good shout for winter period? Very nice call that. We've not talked about him much. If you check when he starts, his points are very good, basically. And if Haz is going to keep that central spot, then it looks like he's going to play more often than not. So the short version of the answer is yes, if he plays, he's going to be a good option, I think. And he could be a real nice differential and a very good value-wise. But obviously, you've always got that problem. If it's Giroud or someone comes back in and plays up front and Hazard moves back left, and there's only one spot then, Pedro or Willian, then it becomes a bit more of a problem. People have definitely been voting on the polls, so they are working. So try and get your voting if you can. What do you make of Solskjaer being appointed? Actually, we've gone well over an hour, and I don't think I've really talked about this. I don't want to talk about it too much because I've kind of already touched on my United players. I think I feel like it's not lose-lose or win-win. It's almost just like I don't even really feel anything. It's almost like relief that Mourinho's gone, but because they've gone for Solskjaer, interim manager, I kind of like the idea behind it that you get an interim manager in, you win the fans back, you maybe play a bit more attacking football, and you basically steady the ship until someone else comes in the summer. And it gives Man United a bit of time to plan. You know, people like Gary Neville and stuff talking about the fact they need to restructure as a club. They need to start being like other clubs, directors of football and whoever it might be, or whatever positions it might be. So it's maybe not the worst idea, but at the same time, by doing it the way they've done it, they've essentially written this season off. They're not probably going to get top 4. They're probably going to get Europa League as a max. Obviously not going to win the league, not going to win the Champions League, you'd imagine. They've basically just written this season off. It feels like a little bit. So a little bit of disappointment there, but at the same time, for the long term of the club, if they can get the next appointment right, I think it's a good idea. Solskjaer, I mean, look, he's a club legend. Obviously, that Champions League goal will never be forgotten. And he was just a great player. Just always got on with it, no moaning. Always happy to come on and score from the subs bench. So I think he's going to win the fans over pretty quickly. And if he can get them playing a bit more attacking football, if we can see over the next few games get like a couple of 2-3-0 wins, then great. But he's not got the greatest track record. So it does feel like a pretty big ask for him. But at the same time, I don't really know if there's much expectations for him either. So maybe I don't want to say pressure off. It's Man United, for God's sake. But yeah, I just feel like a bit like whatever about it. Written the season off. Let's see what happens next season almost. Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm basically saying. They've written the season off. That's what it feels like. We're not. Yeah, Man United aren't going to win anyway. Fair point, but we'll see. Like I can't really get excited about it. I don't know who could have come in on an interim basis that I would have got excited about, to be honest. But look, if the next couple of games go well and we see the team scoring 3 or 4 goals, playing some nice football, Fellaini not in the side, McTominay. Look, I like McTominay, but he's not a first 11 player yet, and he's definitely not a player that should be playing in defence. So I don't want to see him there. Get rid of Fellaini. Super sub, whatever, but I don't want to see long balls all the time. And if that happens and they can play a bit better and get a few results under the belt, then great, We'll see how it goes. But I can't get excited about it. Yeah, Hiddink was someone I mentioned. I don't know if I mentioned it on stream, but I mentioned it. No, I haven't streamed since. I think I mentioned it at work to someone that Hiddink would have been a bit more interesting. He's done it before. We've seen him do it with Chelsea. That could have been interesting. And we've seen him come, manage, and then leave again without any issues. So I guess he probably wouldn't do that because he's done it for Chelsea. But yeah, Hiddink would have been a bit more exciting, I think. I don't want to write Solskjaer off already, even though everything tells me I probably should. But I'll get behind him. What else can you do, really? Steve Bruce, come on. Gary Neville, Gary Neville said himself he'll probably never ever be employed by Man United. And he didn't really do too well with Valencia either, did he? I'm not sure who would I have liked to former players. Roy Keane. I don't think... The problem is, obviously, the players, it seemed, didn't really like Mourinho. I'm not sure Keane coming in and reading the riot act to the like of Pogba, you're playing for Man United, get that shirt on and go out there and actually play. I'm not sure that quite would have worked somehow, so... Mark Hughes, definitely not. Anyway, Man United, I would talk enough about that, I think. Solskjaer coach Pogba, Lingard and Rashford in the youth team. Well, could be good then. Yeah, let's do the polls. Sam Allardyce is available. Come on. We're not that low yet, Man United, where we need to get Sam Allardyce in, let's be honest. Graham Souness would never do it, would he? Okay, polls. Polls. Oh, is that a real tweet? Someone's just linked me a tweet. It's obviously Piers Morgan to Harry Kane saying, "Are you okay?" And now he's just quoted the tweet and said, because obviously it was from a while back. He said, "I'm good, thanks to you." Legend. Sorry, I'm just trying to find... Okay. Again, I know I've said this a million times, but how many times have I done these streams? Well, I've done these streams 148 times, as it says in the title. And I still struggle to find the poll sometimes. Okay. So, Harry Kane. Hold, sell or buy. So, hold, basically, if you've got him, keep him. If you don't, probably don't buy him. 73% saying hold. 16% saying sell. And 9% saying buy. You can only pick one from game week 18 onwards. Who'd you go for, Kane or Aubameyang? 75% saying Kane. He just cannot shake the Kane factor. Obviously 25% then for Aubameyang. So Kane still miles out in front. Not that surprising, although 75% is pretty high. Are you tempted by any Man United players? 68% of you saying maybe in a couple of game weeks. So I like that. I'm glad that was such a high answer. Keep an open mind. At the end of the day, if in 2 game weeks they're still rubbish and you didn't buy them, that's great. If they are good, then maybe there's a few differentials in there for a good price. 16% of you saying never, and 15% buying one of them this week. Your game week 18 captain, 81% going for Sterling or Sané. Huge. If you've not got either of those, could be in serious trouble. 7% Hazard, 5% Aubameyang, Only 3% on Kane and 2% going for somewhere else. So Sané or Sterling, 81%. I would have been interested to see what the split was for those two, but actually, I think you know what? I've done a poll about that. Best captain option for Game Week 18, 56% saying Sterling, 43% saying Sané. So Sterling just about winning. I forgot I did that poll. Well, if I had one tip for you, don't stream and have to talk a lot and drink beer. It always goes badly for some reason. I need to drink a bit more water while I'm streaming, which is what I usually drink. Do I think Kane will go crazy this week? No, I don't think so. I think maybe the week after against Bournemouth at home. Cheers, Apple and Pears. Any stream on or before New Year's Day? Yes. Don't know when yet, though. Benitez, just no way. Benitez would get right under the fan's skin straight away. I don't think they'd back him. Cheers, Mr. Dare. By the way, I know I usually turn off after the polls, but still a bit of beer left. One more beer. We'll keep going a little bit longer. Kevin Keegan, oh my God. Come on. Sterling will get more minutes to the weekend. Sané will be subbed off to manage minutes. Maybe. I'm not sure I'd be completely 100% on that, but possibly. Shout out from Lanzarote. Very nice location. Thanks for tuning in. Fabianski for Edison to free money up. I think that's not the worst shout if you've got something to spend that money on. Geo Freak, thanks very much for the donation. Interesting question. Great show. I mean, that's a great point. Great point. Great opening point for your donation there. What chip would you change, and what would be your suggestions for a new one? What chip would I change? I don't know if I would change any of the current chips. I actually quite like. I think free hit's pretty good. I like triple captain. Bench boost is probably the worst one. How would I change it though? I don't know about that, to be honest. The one change, I know this is boring to say it every year, but I really think they need to do it, is they need to let you use them in the first half of the season. Obviously you can. Sorry, they're not letting you. They need to make it so it's more interesting to use them in the first half of the season. So you get all your chips and you can use like your wild card basically. Because right now we just save them for double game weeks. It's boring. People ask at the start of the season, when will I use them? Just wait 31 weeks and then you can start using them. It's just boring, and it'd be much more interesting conversation week to week if well, is now the time to use triple captain? Kane's in form, he's about to play Bournemouth. Is now the time to use triple captain? And it's much more interesting than say, nah, just use it in a double game week. Obviously you can use it in a single game week and do well, but you're giving yourself better odds, I think, if you use it in a double most of the time. So yeah, people mentioning Park the Bus chip. I think that's quite a nice one for the Norwegian game. So that gives you double points for your defenders 1 week. I think that'd be more interesting than bench boost. I don't know about bench boost. So just something about it I don't really like. I almost prefer all out attack, to be honest. For a new one, I mean, you've got the classics like getting points for your captain and vice captain. So rather than getting kind of triple or an extra score on your captain, you get them on both your captain and vice. So you've got one of those weeks where you just cannot decide to use one of them. I don't necessarily like the idea of using a chip and it puts your best players on or automatically chooses your best player for captain that week. I don't know, I think that takes a little bit of the fun out of it. But yeah, something like that. I think definitely they need to make the change where you can use them in the first half as well. Yeah, all out attack allowed 2-5-3, so only 2 defenders. I thought that was a bit more interesting than bench boost, although it quite often went wrong. Way more often than bench boost would have. Sorry. Everyone seems so sure about City scoring lots of goals against Palace. Palace have had a lot of unexpected cleanies, especially against big teams. Yeah, I just think it's Man City. Different ball game, and they're at home. A chip where you have unlimited budget for a week. Yeah, I mean, it's not much different to free hit though, really, is it? Apart from you have unlimited budget, but I don't know if that's that much interesting of a change personally. I think they could introduce some more interesting chips, but at the same time, I don't really know if I want them to. Oh, I've really messed the hat up now. See what I mean? I've pulled it down. What do you think anyway? Geo Freak, what would your chip be? Thanks again for the donation, by the way. Have you written anything since you donated? Can't see it, don't think so. Yeah, for me, the chips resetting in January actually annoys me a little bit. It feels like that's such an easy change. Maybe it's not. Maybe there's some technical reason or otherwise why they won't do it. But it just seems so obvious. When am I getting Hazard back? Maybe this week. Although Fozzie has put me on to Alonso and Son out for Sané and a cheaper defender. What's the most favourite thing you're looking forward to eating over Christmas? Just Christmas dinner. Just Christmas dinner, really. I mean, I'm going to be away, so I'm going to be eating out a bit more often, which is nice. But, yeah, definitely Christmas dinner. I mean, it is the best meal of the year, without a shadow of a doubt. No cooking to do. A few Disaronnos on the go. Feet up. Cannot wait. How long have we been live? For 1 hour and 25 minutes. Is your son young enough to believe in Santa? He is, but me and the missus are a little bit worried this is the last year because I mean once the kids don't believe in Santa anymore, it's not as good, is it? Christmas. We did do the polls, yeah. A chip where you can have more than 3 players from the same team. But like, I mean, that would only work for 1 week. So again, it would be a bit like you can't have that chip to use and then have it. I mean, you could actually. Maybe you could have that chip activated where. So they could do it 2 ways. So they could either do it that you can bring in a 4th player, but the next time you make a transfer, you have to take out one of those. Or they could do it where you activate the chip. You can then have more than 1 player, more than 3 players, but you have to bring them in that week. And then as soon as you get rid of one of them, that's it. You're back to 3 max. It could be interesting-ish. Is that because you're losing your Santa physique? Not Fanta's physique. Nah, just getting a bit older now, isn't he? Huddersfield defence is terrible. Why shouldn't it? He's cheap, and I'm probably going to go Fabianski, so I didn't go for Balbuena. That is literally it. It's just cheap. Any chance to get a Martial? Maybe in the future. Felipe Anderson to Martial at some point, potentially. Keeper, it just looks like Fabianski. It looks very hard to recommend many other goalkeepers right now. I did get through in the cup, yeah. I'm probably going to lose next week, though. I am massively fed up of Ryan. I keep remembering back to that lovely 3 game week in a row where he got like 10 points per game average, and yeah, that was a great time like 10 weeks ago. It's been rubbish since. So yes, I am sick of him. Get out of my team. Do I ever get bored talking about FPL? Yeah, of course. Sometimes, not on stream though. I think I really do pretty well at turning off outside of streams and stuff. Like I still think about it. I still tweet about it from time to time, but it's not on my brain 24/7. So, and like none of my mates really play it. So unless I'm talking on here or on Twitter, I'm not really talking about it, to be honest. Yeah, I get asked questions sometimes in work, or the missus asks me a question. Who should I bring in this week or whatever? She actually said to me on Saturday. She asked, "Can you just have a quick look at my team?" Sorry to ask. It's like asking you a work question on your day off. Can't believe I've only had 2 bottles in an hour and a half. Seems pretty slow. Do we open this? Yes or no? Do we open this and spend like another half an hour on stream? Well, it's 10 to 11. I really should go. But it would be nice too. Okay, hang on. This is the one that went all over the shop last time. If it spills ever again, that's it, I'm done. I have to turn off. Okay. Oh, it smells good. So much nicer. So much nicer than lager. Even Peroni's good, do you know what I mean? When it comes to lager, Peroni's decent, but as someone who didn't even drink beer until a few years ago, I love IPAs now, especially this stuff. It's just strong. I'm going to regret this in the morning. The good news is, I've been eating porridge like every morning at work for like the last month or two. Because it's Christmas, it's my last day tomorrow, I know I'm getting hash browns. So this won't be as bad now. I really appreciate this tomorrow when I'm eating hash browns. Yeah, this is really nice, honestly. Again, not sponsored. Full Sail, Galway Bay Brewery. Beautiful. If you want something a bit easier to drink, and not necessarily easier to drink, but you know, session ale, you can drink a bit more, not as strong. Althea, Althea, decent. Yeah, I the last few times I've drunk on a Saturday, I've had porridge next day. It's kind of not like a punishment, but like if you're gonna drink, you still gotta get up and eat good. But tomorrow, oh, hash browns. Oh, the problem is, really not poured that well, have I? Like really badly. Can't even just go and knock the head off either. Solskjaer will have 50 million for the January transfer. Oof, I didn't necessarily think they would give him any money. God, who do we need? A centre-back, I guess. Centre-back and potentially a midfielder. I don't know who, though. I don't know who's available, really. I've really screwed this up. Can't even drink out of it. Oh, hang on, I've got another glass here. This is going to go so wrong. Let's get rid of some of that foam. Oh, that's horrible. That's good. Is getting in Sané this week really a priority if your captain is Sterling? Good question. But I think he can outscore Salah and Son. And I want him. I just want him. He's been so good. I can't keep putting it off too much longer. It's a good point, though. It is a good point. He's not going to captain, so, you know, could Son outscore him against Everton? Maybe. I'm not buying into the fact that Palace might keep City down to a low score. I mean, of course they could. I mean, anything can happen game to game, but Man City have been so good. Does anyone really think they're not going to put another 3 or 4 goals away at home? Like, what? I don't know. You think that Sterling and Sané are going to start. Aguero might start, or Jesus. De Bruyne is back. They're getting all their good players back. I just don't see why it would only be 1 or 2. It could be, but we'll see. I have earned this beer, haven't I? Thanks. Appreciate that. What's my prediction for Liverpool? I'm not sure either of my Wolves players get anything, but I feel like they're still the best option. Here's why I think I will probably go through with the Sané transfer this week, because it's a Friday deadline. I'm travelling on Friday, and I'm just not going to want to think about it. And generally, if I don't want to think about a transfer and I'm thinking of doing something like that, I'll just do the transfer. Whereas if I've got a bit more time to think, I'll usually talk myself into the safer option. No live transfers. I've got to wait till at least some news tomorrow, I think. Not actually sure who's got a press conference, though. Sterling looks better than Sané as he's up against Van Arnold. That's a good point, actually. A few people have said that Sané's going to be up against Wan-Bissaka. could be a pretty interesting point. Obviously, Wan-Bissaka's got a pretty good tackle rate this year. So yeah, could cause a few more problems. I don't know if that would completely put me off Sané though, but yeah, fair enough for captaincy. Sterling could be the better option there. A Huddersfield defender's worth bringing in. I'm not like Schindler. You've got Lovra. I probably got that wrong, but as well could be an option. I think the thing you've got to remember with Huddersfield defenders are they're probably not going to get you many points. Like I've got one in, but it's because he's cheap. That's about it. And the fixtures are okay. You'll get a stroke. Stop drinking. Should be okay. I hope. Just make it and forget. That's the best way. Yeah, I'm probably gonna. Probably not gonna do it tonight though. I'm sorry. There's not enough beer here to convince me to do it tonight. All right, let's see if I can watch the head this time. I'm just glad it didn't go all over my desk. Okay, look, now we're good. Look at that, beautiful. Cheers, Mr. Howard. Thanks very much. Oh, I've got to take it off a sec. So hot. It actually fits on my head okay, considering how big my head is. 4 more and I'll do it. Yeah, I'm not going to be sat here for 4 more beers. This is already the longest stream in the season for sure. I probably should say at this point, if you're watching non-live and you've got to this point, fair play if you've got for an hour and a half. But I don't think there's going to be many more questions from here on out that haven't already been answered or talked about. So, yeah. Time to cash in on Fraser. Yeah, I think so. Although, maybe not this week because of the Brighton game. But soon, for sure. Dean Garner must be the biggest fail of bandwagon. It was pretty bad. Barkley, I think, was worse. Because at least with Dean Garner, at least for me, I didn't get Dean Garner in as a playing player. I got him in as bench fodder, who I might use from like week to week. Whereas people got Barkley in as an option to play each week, and rubbish. What's the meaning of life? Don't know, to be honest. No, what is? Don't know. What's the point? Should I think about Lacazette to Aubameyang upgrade this week? I don't feel like that's a move you can make. I really don't, because you just don't know who's going to start. So it's so sideways. If you swap Lacazette to Aubameyang gets benched. I just feel like this is not the week to make that move. Who's your weirdest ever captain? Hang on, that's that. Cause Light Nightcap. Cheers, Gavin. I see a few people. Jack Bailey cracking open another beer. Cheers, buddy. Cheers to y'all. Okay, what are we talking about here? Oh, yeah, weirdest captain. So for Gameweek 1, so I've actually, this is I think my 9th season. Next year will be my 10th. So in 9 seasons, in 2 seasons of those, so 2 out of 9 seasons, I've captained Wigan players on the opening day. Baselli, anyone who's been around a while, especially those that went on Fantasy Football Scout, there was a massive Baselli bandwagon because of how he was pre-season. Captained him, did nothing. And another Wigan player, Moses, currently of Chelsea, was at Wigan. And again, Wigan had a great opening fixture, and he'd been in pretty good form, and I captained him as well. So probably the worst, strangest captains ever. FPL Christmas schedule or double game weeks? What's your favourite? That's a good question. Like, I mean, double game weeks, obviously you get that big score, whichever. The hope is that you get that big score. So I do like that, but I think Christmas period, because I'm just loving Christmas anyway. There's so many fixtures to go through. You get to make decisions quick. Like if you want to, I've said it before, and it's completely illogical because obviously. You still only got one transfer a week, but if you get someone in now, you get to see whether that's worked in only like 7, 9, 10 days, whatever it might be. And by that point, they've played 2 or 3 game weeks. So, but at the same time, obviously, it can be harsh if you do really badly. So, I think Christmas probably just about edges it for me because there's just so much football to watch. And although I won't get to watch most of it in England, to be honest, but yeah, I think double game weeks are great, and I do love them. Really, really do. But I think Christmas just about edges it for me. Although, if you ask me that question when the double game weeks are on, I'll probably say double game weeks. Because that's how fickle I am, you know. From Dublin, been here since the start. You're the man. Thanks very much, Kev. Much appreciated. Thanks for watching. Obviously, thanks to everyone for watching. I'll try and respond to as many messages and questions as possible, but there are a lot. Still over 750 people watching. Merry Christmas to you too, Felix. Thanks for the interesting stream so far. No worries, they will still be happening all the way through to the end of the season. Cheers, Ollie, you too. Fozzie, I'll catch you soon. Have a good Christmas. I'll be nearby in Bristol, but unfortunately probably not up around to meet up or anything this time. But I do need to do that at some point. I know there's a few other FPL lads in Bristol as well, so might looking at doing that before the season's out. I'm quite jealous of all the meetups that have been going on. I've not been able to go to. Do I play Irish Premier League Fantasy? Is that a thing? I'm not sure that's a thing. I don't play it though. Do I come to Galway often? I mean, I live there, so yeah. Weather in the UK over Christmas, I don't know. I've not read any reports, but if it's anything like Ireland, it's very wet, which isn't bad for postponements usually, unless it gets flooded, but I don't think that would happen. It doesn't look to be very... It's not very cold, to be honest. Like, obviously it's cold, it's winter, but it's not freezing cold. See you later, Adam. Thanks very much. Enjoy Christmas. Hopefully you haven't got too far to travel for your watching games work over Christmas. I mean, hopefully you got Christmas off, but something tells me in your line of work you probably haven't. You're from West Side. I'm just in Galway. Let's keep it at that. I know West Side. Don't live there. Let's just say that. My missus used to live out in Nottingham, though. So a little bit further on. You're watching from India. It's 4 AM. That is dedication. Five games. Oof. Hey, look, you get to watch football for a living. Can't complain too much, right? But enjoy anyway. Hopefully you get a little bit of time off to eat some turkey and drink some beer. K-side. Is that what Nottingham is called? Choose between Kane and Alonso or Hazard and Sané. It's got to be Hazard and Sané, right? Like, I mean, it doesn't really make sense because it's two midfielders versus a midfielder and a defender. But sorry, a striker and a defender. It's got to be Hazard and Sané. The wrench denotes, yeah, basically it's a moderator so they can remove messages and stuff. To be fair, in this chat we don't really need too much moderation, but there's the odd message that needs to go. And, you know, you get a few idiots from time to time, but generally the community in this chat's awesome, so we don't really need them. But there's a couple of guys that do that for me, so much appreciated. Do I think Sané will be captain more than Sterling this week? No, I don't think so. Although, what's their ownerships like right now? Sterling is 21.8% overall. I don't know what their live ownership is. Sané's 16, so I'd expect Sterling to be captain the most. Would I play Pritchard or Kamara? I mean, Pritchard stats wise has been doing okay. I think I'd play Pritchard. Yeah. Could you play Superhero? It's free copper. I mean, I'm just going to leave the playlist on. It's just much easier for me on the stream. I did look for some copyright Christmas music earlier. Not too easy to come by, to be honest. I'm really going to regret this, staying up this late drinking beer. Straight to bed, then I got to go out tomorrow night. I got to come back and pack, and then back up at 6 AM. Not good, lads. Not good, lads. You watch every stream in Seattle, Washington. I think WA is Washington, right? If it's not, I apologise, Ian. But thanks very much. Glad to have you tuning in. Who to bring in for Trent Alexander-Arnold? I mean, how much have you got to spend? Who have you already got in your defence? Loads of options in defence right now. I actually feel like defence is pretty interesting at the moment because we're not thinking about too many clean sheets. Yeah, people are going off Alonso. People like Robertson still. Obviously, Doherty's almost must own. I mean, he's very, very good at the very least. But there's if you're changing out any of these, there's quite a few options really. Any solid January transfer rumours? I don't think there has been really so far. Wilson to Chelsea, but I'm not convinced by that. Oh, you're an Arsenal fan. Not cool. Let's see a fourth bear. Oh, I was about to say I don't know what the hell you mean by bear, but I actually don't have any more beer chilled, to be honest. So this is definitely the last bit. Yeah, one more day at work. Like I said, I'm just looking forward to the hash browns, Christmas dinner at canteen. What more could I ask for? Then I get to get out of there. And then head straight out, actually, so that would be decent. IPA should be drank warm. Should it? Is that a thing? I still like it cold. Maybe that's why I got so much head. I mean, to be fair, it's not ice cold at this point. I am off till the 3rd of January, which is extremely nice. I must admit, I've been pretty lucky with holidays at work. Most years. I love having Christmas off. There's football to watch. It's cold and dark outside. You just get to chill out in the house. Etc, etc. I mean, for anyone that's not been around for ages, watching streams and stuff, or not been around since the start, the longest stream I ever did was 4 hours. So if you bear in mind, we're only been going now an hour and 45 minutes. The longest one I did was 4 hours, which is crazy. And not going to happen tonight. Maybe before the end of the season. Used to watch every stream last year. Been busy with college in America. Still glad to see you dominating YouTube. Trev, thanks for tuning in. Much appreciated. Don't panic if you can't always tune in. Like, I stream a lot. Can't tune into everyone. When was that? Must have been last season at some point. Not sure exactly. It might have even been the season before. Not completely sure, actually. 7 a.m. in Australia. Don't hear much about Ericsson. Actually, I think Adam was saying that, actually, as well. You have Kane and Ericsson since last week. I think double up could be good. I mean, there's going to be a bit of rotation there. Just in the midfield, they've got so many options now. I don't think there's a better midfield option at Spurs because they could all get rotated. Like, Ali could be good one week and worse the next. Same with Son. So I think if you've got Ericsson, you keep him. How many beers did I drink in the 4-hour stream? I don't know, but I've got this. I'll just quickly show you. Only for 2 seconds. Don't worry, I'll come back. I've got this. You can't hear me. Now you can hear me. So I've got a break sign, which I had to use in that stream like 2 or 3 times to go to the loo. So I've not had to really use that since. So yeah, quite a bit of beer. And Disaronno. It did go on for a long time. Like, the thing is, I quite like watching gamers stream, and obviously they can just play game after game after game. When it comes to FPL, there's only so much to talk about. It's why you don't stream for 3 or 4 hours every time. You just go round and round in circles, and you'll see the questions coming in now I've already kind of answered. And you know, for most people watching like after the fact, it's not going to be worth watching the whole stream. But obviously, it's nice to. My favourite part is obviously answering the questions live. So it's nice to stream for a bit longer, for me at least, because then more people get to come in and answer questions live than have to watch afterwards. But obviously, most of the time it will just be an hour stream because it's kind of handy for those that want to watch later on. If you could take any player from Premier League history and put them in your FPL team, who would you take? Henry, Lampard, Ronaldo. Although, if you have to base it on how they perform in the Premier League, I mean Suarez at Liverpool right now would be so good. So good. Ronaldo, as he is over the last couple of years, but in the Premier League, definitely Ronaldo. Does your advice get better the more you drink? Probably not. Sterling or Sané? I'm going to captain Sterling even if I get Sané in. The poll says Sterling as well, but only by about 56% to 44%. What is the difference between a book and Spurs? Book and Spurs. Spurs prop up the table, beat Arsenal. I don't know. What is the difference? Living on campus. Enjoy those days. They're the best days. Living at uni or college or whatever it might be. What would Ronaldo's price be? 14 million. Oh, book has a title. Disgusting. Disgusting joke, that. When's the last time there was a quick fire? Do you know what? right now. We can do a quick fire right now. Hang on. Let me set it up quick. Right. See if this works. Ta-da! Okay. So we'll do 5 minutes, answer as many questions as possible. Not done a quick fire for a while. Should do it more often. I mean, I love that. I just always see this screen. I think the production value is obviously rubbish. So let's go in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Come on, get those questions in. There's no questions. We're only 10 seconds in. Will Son start, you think? I think he possibly will, yeah. Obviously, possibly he could. I think he might do, yeah, because he come off for a few minutes. Other players came on and played as well. So I think if he does, then he's a risk for Bournemouth. That's the problem. Kolasinac to Lindelof. Wait for Kolasinac news first. Van Dijk or Ramos? Oof, right now. I mean, Van Dijk's so good right now. It's hard to not go with him. Obviously, he's a bit younger as well, I believe. Am I a gamer? Yes. Playing Call of Duty a lot at the moment. Hazard or Sané? Sané. Lacazette to start, I think it's too tough to call. I would probably say no. I'm going to say no. Because he came on for nearly a full half. So I'm going to say no. Curry or Chinese? Always get asked this question. I think takeaway, I don't know why. I always feel like Chinese is a bit better. But if I go out to eat to a restaurant, Indian every day of the week. Hazard or Kane? Hazard. Opinion on Ings? Looks good. Potential injuries though, quite injury prone. 2 tough fixtures coming up in the next 4. Maybe a wait and see for him. Favourite movie? I don't really have favourite movies. There's a lot of movies I've watched a lot of times. Matrix, The Last Samurai, weirdly enough, and Goodfellas. Sterling to De Bruyne? Absolutely not. Fixtures over form or form over fixtures? I don't think it's as simple as that. I think sometimes form is created by fixtures, and quite often most players don't score as many points in the tougher fixtures as they do in the easier ones. So fixtures, I suppose, is the short answer. Black Ops or COD World War II? I never played COD World War II, so hard to say. But I'm loving Blackout. Wilson to start? I think probably yes, but let's see if House has anything else. Favourite location on Blackout? Turbine. Love it. Is it a good idea to sell Aubameyang to get Hazard for a -4? I'm not sure that's worth a -4, especially if Aubameyang starts this week. Trump tweeting about FPL? Hopefully not. What software do I use for editing? I use Photoshop to create some of the images and then Sony Vegas to render the video. But I don't do too much editing, to be honest, as you've probably noticed. Mourinho or Pep? It's got to be Pep, hasn't it? It just seems to be playing the football that everyone's trying to play right now. And Mourinho is just behind the times, unfortunately. Pogba in. I think he's... Yeah, let's just say yeah, why not? Do I think Liverpool can go unbeaten? No. Goodfellas Classic. West Ham defenders? I think yes, but I think Fabianski is the better option than defenders. Barcelona or Real? Who really cares, I suppose? Barcelona, because they've got Messi. FIFA or PES? FIFA. Kane or Aubameyang? I'm going to go Aubameyang. Hope for the best. Win FPL and never be allowed to play again, or never win and play forever. It's got to be play forever. I'll get second place a few times, no problem. Am I really taking a -8? I think I really am. Maybe a -4. I may just do the Alonso and Son move out. We'll see. PS4 or Xbox? I've got a PS4 Pro, in fact. Favourite Avenger? I couldn't even tell you who's in the Avengers, to be honest. Sterling or Aguero? Captain Sterling. Can we speak more about the dangers of FPL addiction? I don't think that would make for a very interesting stream right now, to be honest. I've had a few beers, probably not the best time. United win a title or you win an FPL title? Do you know what? I'm going to say it. I always say it. I'll win FPL, please. Man United have won the league quite a few times, although if it goes on any longer without winning, then I might change my mind. But come on. It's against 6 million people, not just 19 other teams. 19 teams is easy. 6 million people. Come on, let me have the FPL title. Am I a fan of Lukaku? Yeah, I think he can do the business there, or at least be better than he has been this season. What's the most hits I've taken? I took a -16 one week. Is Lingard a good choice? He could be. Who knows right now? Is there a better captain option than Sterling this week? Arguably Sané, but those two are the best for sure, I think. Shearer or Drogba? Oof, got to go for the England man, Shearer. But Drogba was brilliant. to be fair. McDonald's or Burger King? I think McDonald's. I know this is controversial maybe. I prefer McDonald's chips. Or the Burger King's still good, but I prefer McDonald's chips, but Burger King's burgers are probably better. Although Big Tasty with cheese, decent. I've not had them for so long. Have I ever done something stupid in FPL while drunk? Don't think so. Roy Keane or Vieira? I mean, come on, Roy Keane. Has a winner of FPL ever been talking about on YouTube? They might have been on the Scoutcast and stuff, but they've not regularly been talking. There we go. I hope you enjoyed your quick fire. By the way, I better quickly do the Patron shoutouts. Apologies for not doing it earlier in the stream. Shout out to the producers: Dean P, Marchek, Alex C, Melissa B, Ryan T.O.B, Matthew H, Hayden H, Christopher M, and new Patreon Michael L. Thanks very much for signing up. Only a limited time now to get into the league for the overall prize, $250 by the end of the season. Make sure you look at which tier that is in. Links in the description below if you want to check that out. Thanks to all those people for all their support, and thanks for all the donations today. I'll just quickly read them out again because there's been quite a few. Matthew Higgins, Camille, Maxwell, Harry, Adam, Average Has, Maxwell, Paul, Joseph, Play94386, John, VTMPI Soccer, Dave, FPL Family, David James, Future FPL Champ, GeoFreak. Thanks very much for all those donations. Win FPL or 1 million subs. Yeah, people. I didn't do it twice. Be quiet. I read the donations out. Different. Win FPL or 1 million subs. People always ask me this. This always comes up in this kind of scenario. I think I'd have to go for 1 million subs. Grow this channel into something huge. That'd be nice. Win FPL with subs are because of FPL. I know, but 1 million is a lot. Do you know what I mean? Not sure you get a sixth of the player base just from winning FPL. Who is the best premium mid to bring in now? I have Sterling. Who else don't you have? Sané for me is the next one, then Hazard probably right now. I think this is pretty much done. Pritchard, Dean or Doherty? Probably Pritchard, and it's actually a pretty hard call. I'll go for Doherty. Although, no, I don't know if I would actually. Because I feel like Dean has probably got a better chance of a clean sheet and attack and return against Spurs than Doherty has against Liverpool. I think it's very close. I don't really like benching Doherty, but probably Pritchard and Dean. Bet you're looking forward to taking the half. It's not actually as hot in here as I thought it would be. So it's not too bad right now. Am I Irish or English? I am English. Right, last few minutes now for any more questions. Last few minutes. We're coming up to the 2-hour mark. I think that's a good time to call it, considering I need to go to bed. I've got to go and put washing out. Got to take washing out of the machine and hang it up. That's how so exciting my life is. Isn't it overkill to have Sterling and Sané? Not if they keep getting loads of points. Do you know what I mean? I just think, if you think how many points they've both gotten already and playing together, then why would that stop? Have I ever played Fortnite? Yes. Don't really like it. Can't keep up with all the building. Good luck with your choice for Trans. Have a fantastic Christmas. Kim, you too. Thanks very much for tuning in. Can't see my message or what? I can't see any of it after that. It just says can't see my message or what. I can't see the rest of it. Sorry, George. Hurricanes. That's a good one. Yeah, I saw that about Kenneth Tang. I tweeted about it. Oh god, tweeted about it. Too many beers. Tweeted about it yesterday. Really sad, but he seems positive, so hopefully he can pull through. I know, it'll be fine. We'll sort it out. Right. How good am I at FIFA on a scale of 1 to 10? 10. We'll leave it there. Thanks very, 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 very much for tuning in, especially if you've been here from the start of the stream to the end. That is crazy. Thanks very much for all the donations. Thanks to all the Patreon supporters as well. And thanks to everyone that's tuned in. If you've not hit that like button yet, I can't believe I've gone 2 hours and not once said hit that like button. That is a rookie mistake on my part. But yeah, give the stream a like if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you're new around here. We don't tend to do 2-hour streams, but there'll be regular streams going on to the end of the season. That is it for Christmas for me. There will be a video out on Christmas Day. I think I might cancel it because I'm not sure I like it that much. But I've put something together at least anyway. But after that, I should be back to normal videos for the rest of the season, unless something happens to stop that. But yeah, really enjoyed this stream. Really appreciate you all for tuning in. For those of you on the beer, go to bed now. Have a good night's sleep. But yeah, enjoy your Christmas, enjoy your holidays, whatever you're celebrating, even if you're not celebrating anything. It's just a normal day for you. Hopefully you have a good day. I will catch you after Christmas. Hopefully I've had a fantastic week. Hopefully you have too. But obviously, hopefully I've scored a few more points. Going for that number 1 spot after all. 24k can only improve from here. Howard, thanks very much for the $2. Just see that on the way out. So thanks very much. But yeah, cheers all. Thanks for tuning in. I'll catch you after Christmas. Have a great one. Goodbye.